Hey up, all you petrol-head dirt bike junkies. Welcome to the Man in the Van Motocross Show. My name is Jeff Perrett. This show is brought to you by fxrracing.com and the guys at Relaxtorace Arm Pump CBD, Arm Pump Oil. Thanks for getting involved, guys. You can follow and get your goods from them if you follow these website addresses down here. As you've probably worked out by now, because of lockdown, we physically can't get guests into the show as we normally do. So we're going to do this next part of the series through the wonders of the internet. So I hope you enjoy the show, what we're doing here at Dirt Hub. It would be great to hear your comments. So that would be cool. Right, that's enough of me waffling on. Let's get some guests on. And hopefully I will see you guys at an event sometime soon. Enjoy. Should say, there we go. Live. It says so. It says we're live anyway. Man in the Van. Don't ask me what episode we're on because I always forget. And in lockdown, I've just lost all track of time. I've been drinking too much, to be honest, Max. As you can see, my Man in the Van guest this weekend, he's not actually sat in my van, but you know the reasons why we can't do that. Twofold. There's lockdown. And secondly, he is actually the other side of the world across the Atlantic. So we're doing this by the wonders that are StreamYard. Max, it's good to see you, and it's good to see you smiling. How are you settling in over being back over there?
Cheers. No, it's good to be on. I'm settling in well. I mean, it's been a crazy time, obviously, for everyone. I mean, firstly, with the coronavirus, that in a way that gave us more time to like settle in, get the house sorted out. Even just with my recovery from my foot, it's given me the time to kind of settle in. It's crazy how it's been like 6 months basically we've been over here, and it's still new. Like there's so much. You think, oh, just moving to America shouldn't be too difficult once you get this. I mean, it's literally so much stuff to sort out, and just to get into a routine of, you know, like in Belgium, I had everything dialed with my doctors, with my physios, with anyone that I needed to see to make my performance good or the best that it can be. It's those little things, even just knowing the tracks and what times and all those things. It's just figuring all that out. And I finally feel like I'm getting to a point now where I'm at a good place. I mean, it's been crazy. Firstly, the coronavirus with everything being on lockdown, and then now with all these riots and protests going on. I mean, we just got a text on our phones yesterday that we've got to be inside by 6 p.m. and you're not allowed to leave the house until 6 in the morning. And we're in like, I mean, Temecula, Murrieta, like near where all the tracks are. Like, it's not, I mean, I saw a peaceful protest down the road driving to Pala yesterday, but it wasn't like people were burning stuff. It's just the whole area is just really, a bit crazy at the moment.
Man, I mean, you know, you obviously that was how it transpired. A deal in America, that was the right choice for you. But the timing of it, man, it hasn't quite worked out on the timing, has it? Especially them with the injury. But of course, you know, as you just said, it takes so long to get set up over there, even though you've been there time and time again. But now you're doing it your own, aren't you? Because previously you've always, I guess, stayed at Dad's ranch and
exactly. I mean, I was 14 when we moved over here the first time. And it was different. You know, my dad controlled everything of, you know, like I'm a normal kid. I raced when I was 16, 17, and then 18. When I was 18, I went back to Europe in 2011, and that's kind of where I have tried to become my own person and take control of my own things. And basically, I've said it before, and it came down to the fact of, I was saying to my wife, to the people close to me, if I got the opportunity to go to America again and give it a good go, and I didn't take the opportunity, I would probably regret that for the rest of my career. And it was always something that my training as a kid, my dad was always Supercross and sand. I rode Supercross all week after school, and then I went to Holland on the weekend and raced in the Dutch Championship, and I did that for years. So I kind of feel like I was brought up to give, and like I raced Bercy and all that since I was on an 85 and did all those things. I was kind of like, that's what I was always good at. And then I kind of obviously got sucked into the World Championship, and I loved it, and I've done really well. I don't feel like I achieved what I wanted to. I'm always searching for more, but it was basically, I got the opportunity to come over here, and I thought, well, I was 26. I mean, I'm 27 now, and I thought there's not many people that get the opportunity to do that, because everyone's always young on a 250 and get to go over. One, it's hard to learn Supercross, but I was lucky enough at my track in England. My dad's kept the Supercross track up together, so I've been able to keep my hand in. I know it's obviously completely different. I'm racing it to practicing, but I was brought up with it, so I do feel like it comes back a little bit easier. And yeah, basically came out here to get married in October. I thought I had a deal lined up actually back in Europe, pretty much dialed in. Literally brought one set of gear out and one set of boots out, just for like, thought, okay, I'll take them out, see what happens.
Yeah.
Ended up just not going back. Like, I haven't been, the house in Belgium, I left everything. I left my towel on my rowing machine, my shoes, like, it's weird.
That's brilliant.
I left there. I mean, luckily I can speak to Ben Watson on FaceTime, and he takes me around the house because he's taken over the house there.
Right.
So
okay.
So
how well did you not clean it up? I hope you hadn't left anything incriminating there.
Yeah, well, no, Millie actually, she had to go back, because I came out here. We were on a honeymoon in the Caribbean, and I was like, should we get on a plane to California, or are we getting on a plane back to Europe, like back to England? My flight was booked to Heathrow, and it literally got to the day before, and I was like, I spoke to Jimmy Button, actually, who's now my agent over here, my manager, and I was like, I want to give this a go if there's an opportunity, if there's a chance to do it. And I came here, figured things out. I mean, I hurt my foot in the process, but I mean, it was a weird one because I was kind of on holiday mode. Obviously, I'd finished the GPs. I thought I was getting ready for end of February to start GPs again. It was October, and I was like, I'm like, I'd barely ridden the bike since Lommel, and I was like, I will see. And then I literally came out here, had to test with Suzuki on the Supercross track. Never ridden a Suzuki on a Supercross, on 450 on a Supercross track. Well, I haven't ridden a Supercross track in years, and had to get straight into it, and was on it. And I ended up testing for a couple of other different teams before the deal got finalised. Ended up hurting my foot. Didn't even realise how bad it was until like 3 weeks later. But like you're saying, this whole situation, I mean, I was supposed to be racing already Supercross, but to be honest, coming in as late as I did,
that was probably that's one advantage, I should imagine, of all this that's happened. That's probably done you a favour, right?
Yeah,
not
massively.
Not the foot injury, obviously you didn't want that, but you know, because you were so late in the day and getting the deal organised, and as you just said before, you know,
I already knew
it's so hard.
Exactly, like I already knew going in. I didn't finalise the deal until December, and I was supposed to start racing Anaheim in January.
Jeez.
And I remember talking to Sean Simpson, and being like, man, I'm not even fit. Like, I haven't trained. I haven't even got a bicycle. I haven't even done anything at all. And I'm meant to be racing in a month on something that I'm not prepared for. And we were talking about it and things. That eventually it didn't happen because of my foot. But then I was still, obviously, then my focus shifted to outdoors, which I was like, this is actually fine. This is perfect for me, because I'd rather prepare better for outdoors and do a better job at the outdoors, and then have a full off season to get ready for Supercross in 2021, if that's how it works out. And even though I was supposed to be racing May 19th, was supposed to be Hangtown, to be honest, I would have struggled because I just started riding by then, and my foot, I mean, they've just announced a schedule yesterday, and I'm actually pleased that they've given us another 2 weeks. Every week that I get at the moment is better. So I think by the time the outdoor starts, I'll be at a good place. I'll be at just over 7 months from this injury, and 7 months sounds like a hell of a long time, and it's been a hell of a long time. And all I want to do is I wake up in the morning, I just want to walk normally. I want to go running. It's been so long that I've been limping, and I've started riding now, and I'm not too bad. Like, I can ride one day, good, but then I need to have a day off because I can't push for 2 days yet, and I can't push hard on the bicycle and then go riding, or I need to manage my time quite well. But at the end of the day, if I was 100%, I'd be racing in Salt Lake right now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I'm not. So it's the way it is.
Does it feel like you're kind of going back to like opening another chapter because you've been there before, or does it feel like obviously you are starting a new one and a little bit like unfinished business, a little bit?
Yeah, definitely,
Like,
for
you
sure.
obviously had that thing going in America a little while you was over there, and you know, as a youth rider, and you were starting to etch, and then you, like you said, you then kind of came back to GPs, which wasn't really part of the plan, but it happened. So does it feel like you're kind of picking up where you were from a youth rider with that goal to, for a better word, like a pop artist making it in America type thing?
Yeah, exactly. I think you know, I've learned you're so focused on one goal, and that was the World Championship for the last 8-9 years, and whether you achieve the goal, like my goal was to fight for a World Championship.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like that goal served its purpose, because although I didn't achieve exactly what I wanted to, I had great success with Matley, with the Nations, and winning races.
That's an understatement, Nate, to be fair.
But I never felt like I was a title contender solid like the whole year, and I felt like I'm growing and growing and growing. But I feel like the goal, originally when I signed to come over here, I was a bit like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever go back to do GPs, because I feel like I need to, like, I wish I could have done this, or wish I could have done that. And then I started to realize that goal kind of served its purpose, because I've, in a way, leveled up. I've changed my goal. Like that goal served its purpose, and it's given me a new goal, a better goal, which is Supercross and Motocross out here. I mean, I might be getting ahead of myself, but whether I can still ride a 250 over here in Supercross next year, the year after. So, you know, people say to me, "Oh, you're going to be the next British world champion." Well, how about I be the first Supercross champion?
Absolutely.
And the first British, and that's kind of where my shift is. My mindset's changed now to.
I'm excited by that. What you've just said there. You've got me. You've got me excited, because nobody's ever done that, and that obviously it's great to always be the first, right?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, there's a hell of a lot to do.
I know there's a lot of work to be done.
But I'm here to perform and to do the best job. So this period of time now, it's given me the time to set myself up. Now I can go into the outdoor championship. Okay, I've still got a niggle with my foot. I've got to protect it, but I can go into the outdoors, learn a lot, and then I can have a full off season, hopefully, and get ready for 2021 Supercross. That's the plan. I mean, obviously, I'm only on a 1-year deal at the moment, but I'm even talking to my team right now about the future. So that would be the ideal situation. You know, I didn't want to come all the way over here just to do a year, and then, especially in the year that it's been this year, because it's been a crazy, weird year that, like, everyone's just had this massive break, and it's kind of strange, but it
is like obviously a massive, almost like you say, what I've mentioned earlier, a new chapter, fresh start, because it goes beyond just riding, you know, married life. So obviously you just got married. So I'm guessing you wouldn't want to keep going back and forth. You want a bit of stability for a while as well. I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, living in America for the next 2 or 3 years or more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm lucky that my wife likes America. It's not easy to.
You're not having second thoughts at the minute, is she, with all this?
No. I mean, we're in Marietta. You must have been. Anyone that's been out here knows that it's so nice. Like, I'm not bashing on Belgium, but living in Lommel and living here, I'd rather live here all day long. Yeah. But I loved living in Belgium, and I did a great job, and we made it home, and it was good. But it's still not England, and it's still not here, because they speak the same language. You know what I mean? It is different. So it's just one of those that the opportunity was there, and I thought, you know, I'm going to be stupid not to take it and give it everything I've got, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you've got me excited about it. I never really thought about it like that. And as you've worded it now, to be the first Brit to win a Supercross or an AMA title like that would be something else. And who's to say? outdoors and stuff like that. Obviously, this has been a setback with the ankle injury or whatever. Let's do sort of two hypotheticals. Before the ankle injury, did you have any expectation or where you see yourself placing? And I mean,
in Supercross.
I know you want to win, so that's a stupid question. Everybody that races wants to win. So I know you look up and say, "Well, I wanted to win it."
Yeah,
but what was your realistic expectation?
Exactly, like I'm not unrealistic in. I knew I was tight for time, tight for preparation, and I had a lot of work to do with the bike to get and also I don't have experience, so I didn't know what worked with the bike with Supercross and not. When I started riding it, I mean, I was good. I was riding with my teammates, but it's not like I'm riding with Roxon or you've got a base setup there. I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I don't actually. So I honestly think it would have been I would have really, my mindset at the time going into Supercross would have had to been really, really, I'd have had to control myself because it's so easy to crash. And I'm not saying it like that.
No, I know what you're saying.
All right, I hurt my ankle now, but I could have gone into the first race and crashed my brains out, and then you're out for the season anyway. It's one of those where I underprepared and not fit, not ready. That is a little bit sketchy, especially going in there. So I would have had to really, really just gone, okay, let's job number one, let's make it into the main event. Let's just see how we're getting on. Then I'm going to have to start building through the year. It'd have been tough because as well, you have all eyes on, like, especially when you come here, it's like all eyes on you and they judge you straight away, whether you're any good or, oh no, he's shit or he's this or he's that. So it's like, actually, it would have been hard to control your self-image, if you know what I mean, of yourself. Like, as soon as you start getting beat, it's hard. Your head takes it more than what it should do or what it can do. So it's actually better not to even race, because in some circumstances, because then you can start thinking, oh, okay, right, I can see where I want to be. But now going into the outdoors, it's still tough for me going into the outdoors now. I mean, I'm getting better.
I mean, Christ, you've hardly ridden, and with the ankle.
I've literally done 6 days on a decent track, but actually I'm getting there now. I'm getting there now. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for the outdoors, but a lot of people say to me, oh, you'll be fine on the outdoors. It's only Tomac you've got to worry about and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, fair enough. At Redbud, at the Nations, I did beat him, but it's a different situation. Like,
I love the way you got that in there.
But the thing is, I was so used to my bike, and Redbud was, I'm not being funny, but it might have well have been Hawkstone with bigger jumps. It felt like I was at Hawkstone, the conditions and the track prep. So it was slightly different. And I'm not also like getting into the outdoors now. I've started riding, and then I've started even silly things that I've learned. Like, I was like, oh, the bike's way too aggressive. Let's smoothen everything out. Let's soften everything up. I'm riding around Lake Eldon and places like that. And it works not too bad. But then when I started getting on some decent tracks like Pala that are bumpy and grippy, you start thinking, oh, hold on. The European style setup's not really going to work as well here, because you need the bike to be aggressive. You need it to be a bit stiffer, because the tracks are quite aggressive. So it's different. I going into the outdoors,
that's the common argument though, isn't it? Whenever we've done Motocross of Nations from the Americans saying, look, your tracks are completely different to ours. That's So it is. That's not making it up. That is actually true, isn't it? Like,
exactly. But I'm trying to be smart with it in the way of, I'm not going to come here and just go, oh, I want to make my bike like a European bike and train on my own and this and that. I've been riding with Ferrandis and Cooper the last few days at Pala. Like, I've seen them out. And it's like, okay, now I can see where, I mean, to be fair, I was cruising, and then now I'm getting better and better. I'm like, okay, I can see how, even they're on 250s, I can see how even my 450 needs to hit hard, needs to be there for these types of tracks. So it's figuring that out. But again, another thing that a lot of people don't really know is I've actually been to all of them. I know it's 10 years ago, but the only tracks I haven't been to is Unadilla, Southwick, and Ironman. So Ironman's the first round. I haven't been there, but
Right.
every other ones I've been there. You know, I raced Loretta's when I was younger, and there's a round at Loretta's. I've raced at Redbud. Obviously, I did a whole year over here. I did 2 seasons of outdoors over here on 250s when I was 16 and 17. So, I mean, although the tracks could be a bit different, bit jumps here and there, but I still know the kind of environment and things like that. So you don't forget those things. So yeah, I mean, for the outdoors, the expectations and the goals, I mean, obviously I want to go and do well, and I don't really know. I could go in there and be like, oh, fuck, I got some work to do. I've gone the wrong way with the bike. Like, I could go in there and be like,
that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is.
You've got to get results, haven't you? So
yeah, I could go in there and be like, that's why I'm obviously I've got the time now to figure it out, and they're all in doing Supercross. So now I'm actually, my crew chief's coming back this week, and I start testing on Saturday. He's gone up there for the first 2 rounds of Supercross, and then he's coming back to work with me to do a good couple of weeks of outdoor testing just with me before everyone else comes back to get ready. So yeah, it's exciting. I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just racing it. It's going to be nearly a year since Lommel. Like August something was Lommel, and all right, I raced the qualifying race the week after, but I had a punctured lung. But yeah, Lommel was my last proper race, and that's going to be like 11 months.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
a long time off. But they said, you know, apart from the foot injury, time to reflect, get settled in. So that's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, you know, like you said, it's a new chapter, and you know, I think you're obviously seemingly in a good place mentally. So I mean, you know, I think it's great because you've got experience from riding there anyway, so that gives you a good chance, you know, of hitting the ground running. And from a like purely selfish point of view or a British fan point of view, I think from our side it's brilliant to have a British rider doing AMA stuff. Obviously, we've kind of embraced as a country, or sorry, as a nation, as Britain, we've embraced Dino into it. You know, obviously he was born in Scotland or whatever, but we didn't really. I know you spent a lot of time in America growing up, but you know, people relate to you a bit more because obviously you early part of your career riding in England and Belgium. So
exactly.
From a fan base point of view, it's going to be great when we, you know, start tuning into the AMA Nationals.
You know, it's crazy. Yeah, no, it's crazy because people.
Sorry, I'm trying to get somebody to move me in a minute. I can't move. Sat in the van doing an interview, so I can't move. So there we go. It's all right. I just have to live with it. Hold on. Let me just tell him. I can't. I'm doing a live interview with somebody. You just have to wait. Sorry. Right, there we go. I love it. That's the trouble with being in a van, trying to pick up free Wi-Fi. Brilliant.
I can't remember what I was going to say now.
About the fan base, you know, about what, you know, and
what I was going to say was like it's weird because it's something that I've learned is people can tell you, or you have the way of doing it. Oh, you go to America on a 250, and no one, I mean, not that I can remember, not even from Europe, no one has come on a 450 from Europe to America and actually made the whole transfer. I mean, I know DeSalle and Sean Simpson and a few of the guys have raced odd rounds, but no one's of outdoors, but no one's gone like on a, normally it's something you do when you're young, like Hunter Lawrence and Jet Lawrence, like the kids, or even like Roxon. They're all young doing it, and you know, you start thinking about all those things, like, and everyone has a stereotypical, oh, you're going to get too old for Supercross, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, because in America they're all about the 16-year-olds, but I'm like, still, it's actually given me the, like, I've changed that whole thing. Like I've been able to come out and do it.
Yeah.
what I think, and this is just an opinion of it, what you've actually got is it's a good time to be doing it because you're taking now. You're not young and wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
You've learned a lot to take over there. And like you said, you almost put yourself in a privileged position to pick up a ride over there at this stage of your career because it's not easily done. So you're bringing a load of experience with it. It's not like you haven't. It's just redialing into the environment, isn't it? And like I said, I should imagine 3 months, 4 months of Supercross practice when you get going into next year. If you stay healthy, you'll be right there, ready to go.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of different things. Like there's the heat over here and things like that. But I was always pretty good in that. So I mean, it's the way you look at it. And all I'm trying to say is, when you're a kid and someone's telling you you've got to do it this way, you've got to do it that way. It's actually there's no set way of doing it. Up until this point, people were telling me, "Oh, you'll never go to America. You're too old. You're this. You're that." And well, the door opened, and I took it. I'm here now, and I mean, I never thought I could ride. I'm not saying that I'm going to ride a 250, but I never thought that after Majora Nations in 2016, I got off a 250, and I thought I'm never riding a 250 again. And yet I was out here and I was actually testing a bit on a 250 over here before I signed my deal and all this stuff. So I did, and I've still got the opportunity that if it comes up in Supercross or if the deal's there, I could ride a 250. I could ride for a 250 team or a 450 team. So it's crazy that you get so set and you think. I remember getting off the bike in Majora thinking, all right, well, that was shit. I didn't do very well there, and I'm done on a 250. I've won a couple of races, but didn't exactly. And now I'm like, oh, I've got the opportunity to go back to that, maybe, or there's things that are opening up. Whereas it's just different.
I've got to say, up until the ankle injury, from the few social media posts that you put up, it looked like you were getting to grips with the bike. Obviously, you're a high caliber rider. You can ride anything, but actually, sometimes you just get people that go on a bike, and sometimes they go fast on it, but they don't kind of look their self on it. And from what I saw of you on the Suzuki, you look really at home on it.
I mean, it is it's easier to look good in practice. That's the other thing. Like I also I know I did those. Yeah, I'm also, I don't kid myself in that. Yeah, I can all make it look good for a lap or for this or that, but it's consistency and building that. But again, that comes from experience because I know how that is in Europe. You go to Lommel in the week, and not that I'd get smoked around Lommel, but I'd have little kids that are like on it, and you're like, oh my day. Let's say Conrad, he used to be so fast in practice around there. Like he would beat me in practice when we were teammates, and he was in the European class to start with. And I'm like, and then Conrad is really, really good in the sand too. But you know what I mean? Like you go.
Well, racing's a different thing, right? I'm still laughing at what you said because you just probably shattered so many riders' dreams that go to a practice day and think they're awesome. And now, just
funny story.
Their fireworks like so much.
Last week,
that's it now. There's no point me going out riding anymore.
Yeah, well, it was quite funny. Last week at Glen Helen, I went out to Glen Helen, my first day at Glen Helen, right? And I thought, right, I'm going to go out in the afternoon because I thought, okay, I'm not. And I rode down the track, done 2 laps, and I was just going into a 30-minute moto, but I was going steady. Like I'm going feet up, like steady. I'm still moving relatively quick. I still don't look too bad from the outside, but I know that I'm not like super sharp on everything. And I had this 250 kid behind me. And first day I rode with my name on the back. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
You get a black kit is what you need.
Yeah, a little amateur B ride or something, flat out, revving it behind me, scrubbing it. And I got literally about 5 laps in. Anyway, I did about 10 minutes. And then I came around the inside and someone crashed, so I went slow. This kid blows past me up the hill, flat out. He does about half a lap, then he pulls off. I'm like, okay, great. And I carry on for the next 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, mate, they totally just think that they're going to go home and think, yeah, I'm on it today.
I bet, it'll be all over the internet that Max Anstie, he's a load of rubbish. Why has he been given a ride? I can smoke him in Glen Helen.
you know, it comes from a bit of experience in, I guess it's 450 experience, because I had that with Polan and Nagel. First year on 450s, I came off the 250, got straight on the 450, and was like, I need to be fast. I need to be fast. So I went training my first day with the two guys, thinking, oh my god, what if I'm like really slow? Like I was flat out revving it, and I'm not saying that I was like way faster, but my times were like way faster than theirs. And then we went for dinner. They didn't care. They sat there at dinner talking. If it was me that was way slower, I'd be like, oh, shit.
Trying to edge the conversation round to what happened today.
Yeah, we went through the whole off season, and I thought that I was the kiddie. Went to the first race. Polan's like P3, Nagel's like right up there, and I'm like 8th or something. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, and it's their experience of, they know what they're there to do. They work their plan, and that's it. You don't think about every day you go practicing, you could be on a different routine. You could be tired from the gym. You could be doing this. There's a whole load of different areas that you've got to stick to your plan, because eventually when you go to the race, that's when you need to turn it on. You don't need to leave it all on the practice track. You need to be ready for when you go racing. And that's just experience of what I've learned over the years, and now coming into this season, kind of trying to do the same thing.
It's been so good, Channy. I'll tell you why, because I've been, grinning a lot through this interview. Now, there's a reason for that. I'm naturally trying to be quite happy anyway. Secondly, the sun's shining. But through this whole interview, I've been sort of remembering when I sat down with you at your place when I first interviewed you for Moto magazine. When I don't know what you were, 9. You could be 9, 10, I don't know, and whatever. And and I've been thinking about that during this interview, and it's just so good to see you sat there now, gone through this whole learning curve, 1 GPs, 1 Motocross Nations, all those things with the same enthusiasm, but so there's still the same character, but just now stitched into all that is a load of experience.
Yeah,
and that's cool. That's why I've been like smirking all the way through it, because it's like, okay, makes me feel a little bit old, admittedly, but that's just getting old.
I still feel the same. Like I literally, like
exactly
the same. I still feel the same. I just know a little bit more. Like I know what's important and what's not important, and I know a bit more of what I need to think about and what I need to focus on, and instead of stressing on things. But
amazing how you find it out for yourself, though, isn't it? And no doubt, your dad would have told you a load of stuff. There'd be so many people from when I interviewed you all that time ago to now that would have told you, oh, you got to do it like this, you got to do it like that. But ultimately, you find your own way always, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And something that I've learned, if any kids are watching this, is
hopefully.
any.
I don't think we're quite that old. You're bringing that. You're bringing that demographic up. I got to be honest.
No, but I think if like one thing that I have learned is there's something valuable from everyone that you can learn. Like say even Carlo Holson. A lot of the kids probably don't even know who Carlo Holson is. Sand rider. Things that he told me in the sand. I did a training day with him once back when I was on a 65. Still, that's how I ride sand now.
Yeah.
Which is, if you're revving the bike becomes nervous. It's all about finding traction. It's just weird things like that. I even did something with John van der Berk with keeping your feet up in the turns, because you're saving energy and you can push for wheeling out of the turns. Different things like that. Everyone has something valuable to learn from, and it's just trying to, at the end of the day, if you're passionate about what you do and you're trying to be the best that you can be, you're gonna do something every day to make you a better person or a better rider. And that's still where I'm at the moment. I'm trying to, I've done the GPs and I'm here to go and do the Supercross. And I just want to be a better person, a better, more rounded rider, and see where I'm at.
I'm excited by this, Max. You're on the right track. Stick at it. Listen, I could talk for hours, and I know you can too. I wish we could, but we won't. You've got to get to what, physio now?
Physio, yeah. No, I've literally got. I'm driving to Anaheim to do. I found this really like America for. I mean, having this injury, there's this whole body cryo room. Like I've done the cryo in the tube before,
really?
but you go in this thing. It's minus 118 degrees or something. It's like going into a sauna, but your whole body, and literally, you're like have you seen that SAS Who Dares Wins? Like when they go in the
but no, I've heard about it.
Yeah, well, they put them in the water and like freezing cold water up in Scotland, and they're like can't breathe. It's literally like that. It's a mental thing of you can't breathe because you're trying to hyperventilate in there. And I've gone on this gravity running machine, which I mean it's some stupid amount of money, but basically you take the gravity off, so I can run on a running machine, but with 50% of my body weight.
No way! That sounds really awesome.
I put some on my Instagram actually. Like, it's really like they made it for the astronauts in NASA to do the other way, so that they can run with gravity, but basically
that sounds
when they're up in space. But yeah, like here for the rehab is honestly like the place to be, because they've got all the next level stuff, the next level equipment, and all of these bits.
I'd love a go on that. Wow, can they take any body weight?
Yeah, you can take any body weight,
right.
and you can go to 80% off. So you can literally say
that'll get me down to about 10 stone.
Yeah, you can be 20% of your body weight, and literally, like, you feel really light in it. It's really cool. But for me, for like running and for my leg now, it's fine because I can't run normally. I'm still limping a bit normally, but actually in there, I feel good. So it's just getting those. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I'm meant to go there in a minute.
So you're meant to go there. So look, I'll let you go off and be an astronaut. Listen, mate, I'd love to do some more of these again when you get up and running. You know, maybe we will do that. We'll do like a quarterly thing or a bi-monthly thing just to catch up, because obviously everybody in the UK would love to hear from you, how you're getting on when you do get back to full fitness and get racing.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Mate, thanks for the time. I'll let you go. Hopefully I will see you at some point this year. If we are allowed to travel and all that, I'm planning to come out to California around just before Christmas time. So if I do, I'll obviously try and catch up with you at a track somewhere.
Yeah.
In the meantime, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
I'll let you go, and I'll speak to you soon. From everybody in the UK, all the best, Max. We'll catch up again soon. All right, mate?
Cheers,
okay,
thanks,
cool.
Mate.
I'm in that broadcast right there. Right. All the best, mate. Laters. There we go.